maybe you can kill him twice.
Twice is a mercy. This isn't even the worst of it.
Hey guys, I'm playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. As always, I don't want to really put too much emphasis on the gameplay on this video, even though it's not a bad video. It just we started out really well, and then the other team kind of gave up and lost really badly. So I wouldn't say this was the most crushing win we've ever had. However, we had a really good team, and yeah, you know, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, cool, we won, so we're just gonna sit here until the numbers reach 0. Good job. However, there was a individual in this war zone who we'd actually seen in a couple of war zones back to back. You know, we're just queuing all at the same time, and yeah, I really dislike him. Used to know him personally, and he just said some things to me one day that I just completely, just unforgivable. And yeah, you know, just, oh, you know, one of those people that just like completely drive me crazy. So whenever I see him in a war zone, we kind of, you know, single him out and make sure that he doesn't have such a great time. That may sound really callous and mean, but you know, don't do it to the point so, you know, you make the guy want to, you know, quit or anything. Anyways, so this is kind of part 3 or 4, or I've kind of lost count now, of the sort of dilemma I've had with my class. I'm in heel spec still, as you may see. Actually was in a pre-made with my friend Jack, and my friend Zonatos, and a guild member of his who is also an operative healer, and she's very good. And we were queuing together, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to spec back to DPS. The gear that I'm using is still all Enforcer gear, which it's an important topic for this video, which I'll get back to in just a moment. However, I did really well. I did something like, I don't know, 400k damage in the war zone, and, you know, was a healer's nightmare, yada yada. And not to discount the healers in that war zone, the heals were fantastic. However, my friend Jack, who you can see, my big huge power tech meat shield, just didn't have as much fun, and you know, in essence, neither did I. Just because I was kind of lone wolfing it, you know, just kind of prowling around the war zone, finding single targets, you know, people who were unfortunate enough to be left alone, and eating them alive. That was very thrilling and exhilarating, you know, seeing someone's health go from 100 to 0 in a rotation and a half or something. However, it's a team game, and for me, a lot of the fun comes from the team game. And right now, you know, I'm basically playing all the time with my friend Jack, my super power tech meat shield. And I don't know, if he's not having fun, I'm not having fun. And I love playing with him so much because he's a really good tank, and not only that, he's very very situationally aware, very just has a really great presence on a war zone. And you know, we're sitting on vent and talking all the time and communicating, and I don't know, we have this really great synergy. And I just really enjoy healing war zones. It's sort of like, I don't know, it's my calling to be a war zone healer. It's not that I don't hate healing warzones. It is a little bit crazy. One who would, want to be a PvP healer. I mean, you are constantly being jumped on, chased, interrupted, slowed, CC'd, thrown, pulled, you name it. You are usually the center of attention. And it's kind of maddening at times and can be really frustrating because you're just trying to play a game and you can't because everyone's on you. However, it's still really exhilarating and a whole lot of fun. And like I said, it's a team game. Individual efforts do win warzones. Not going to take away from real great individual players. However, most of the time I've seen you take a bunch of really great individual players who aren't playing as a team, and they'll very quickly lose a warzone. And I like to play, as best as I can to help the team. And even though, murdering healers has a lot of use in a warzone, I prefer to kind of just keep my team alive. And especially playing with Jack, what we usually like to do is just go on to, the opposite side and pull like 4 or 5 people from their team trying to kill us. And they don't succeed. And usually we cap a point or, plant on a door or something like that. And it just feels so good. And it's a lot of fun. So, also with my decision to kind of no longer really put a lot of focus in playing Republic side, I think I'm going to stay heals. Now, I am in Enforcer gear, which sounded absolutely crazy to me when I first kind of, I tried this. I was like, I want to be TPS. I'm going to spec to heals just because I think I can do decently enough. I didn't expect to do so well, however. With Isabel, everything, I thought I had everything kind of, to a very precise practice. Like I knew exactly what I needed to do with this class. And the most fun I've had with Sakari is really learning a whole lot more about this class. I've had debates with friends and other healers about the alacrity stat, and I have done a video on stats and I've talked about alacrity. And I had this, I like my 1.7 or whatever cast time, blah blah blah. But since healing in Enforcer gear, my very first warzone, when I bought my recruit set, I healed something on a Void Star for like 650k, which was mind-blowing because that's exactly what I do on Isabel, who has War Hero gear and augmented gear and all this stuff. And it was absolutely crazy to me that I could do that on this character wearing accuracy gear. I've kind of changed my style of play a little bit as well. I always used, my cultal probes and my, surgical probes and stuff like that all the time, However, I've learned how to better utilize them since sort of moving away from casting. I do use colto injection. I mean, you kind of have to at some point. However, I use it a little bit more discreetly and a little bit more sparingly, especially now that I'm playing so often with a very good and competent tank. I just don't rely very much on casting. Plus the cast time, even if you completely max out the alacrity, I've seen a lot of healers in Warzones, especially playing as a DPS, who think they have this super fast, uninterruptible underworld medicine. It's not. I still kind of see it. And, you know, I've got distraction, and then I've got my debilitate, and then I've got my flashbang. All those interrupts, and by then you're dead. Alacrity is kind of a garbage stat. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. That it's a complete and total garbage stat. I don't recommend it. I'm sure tons of people will disagree with me. That's okay. I'm doing really well in Warzones. I am really happy with what I'm doing in Warzones. At the time of this recording, it is Tuesday night. The servers just went down like an hour and a half ago. The reset for the weekly, the PvP weekly, was this morning. I'm already done with my weekly. The 9 Warzone wins. We're winning all the time. We're playing all the time. And I'm having a lot of good fortunes in Warzones. So, you know, I wouldn't say I'm the authority. I'm not so much a min-maxer. I do a little bit of theory crafting, but it's not like something I do all the time. I have a full-time job, you know? I work all the time. I don't have time to sit there, you know, and do tons of theory crafting and min-maxing, so I'm not going to call myself an expert. However, I have 2 level 50, you know, operative / smuggler healers. I've been doing it for a really long time, and most people I know don't say I suck. And I've just kind of come to find that alacrity is kind of a garbage stat. Now, something that I've been doing, and, you know, I don't recommend this for everyone, because, you know, it's taken me a long time to sort of get to this point, but what I've done is I augmented my Tinny's jacket, which you can see. It looks super cool. I like the way it looks. I augmented it and put my Battlemaster stuff in it. And I am currently getting the 2-piece set bonus from that, and some Teeny's gloves that I put my War Hero gloves things into. And that's giving me that 15% crit chance buff on my backstab. Super cool. And then I've got the Field Tech PvP gear, which makes my AoE, my orbital strike, last like 3 seconds longer, which is really, really cool. I have decided kind of that the set bonus thing is kind of garbage as well. I don't put a lot of I don't put a lot of faith in the AoE heal. It's a nice little thing to have when we're kind of in a really easy peasy sort of fight, and I can afford to DPS. I use the AoE heal and throw 2 hots on my tank, and that's usually all we need. I don't need the extra healing. Like, you're not going to use that AoE heal to save the, you know, save the fight or save the raid or save, you know, it's going to be a, to keep people topped off. It's not going to, you know, I casted it when he was at 0% and I kept him alive forever. You know, that's not going to happen. So that little 10% or whatever just doesn't, I don't know, not worth it, especially when you can combine tons of set bonuses and reap the benefits from, you know, tons of different things. The unfortunate thing about the medic set bonus, the Colto pack / Colto infusion, I say it's very, very unfortunate because it has seemingly fooled players into thinking they need to use Colto pack. I mostly see this on smugglers. I don't know why. I haven't done a whole lot of research. I've seen people use Colto infusion. It's the same ability. It's just, you know, the mirror for each class. It just happens to be coincidence that I see a lot of Republic healers using Colto Pack. Because there's a set bonus. I don't remember if it's the PvE or the PvP one that, you know, it gives you the buff. And I know a lot of people like to mix the bonuses. So people use Colto Pack. And there are quite a few healers that I recognize, and I see them all the time in Warzones, and they're constantly using Colto Pack. Colto Pack requires A, energy, B, you have to stop and cast it, and C, you are losing an upper hand stack, which, you know, it's kind of nice to keep one as either A, an emergency heal, or B, a little buff. It's a tiny, tiny buff, but it's a buff nonetheless to your damage and crit. You know, it's nice to have that. So I see these healers using Colto Pack, and they'll use like 3 of them, and then I see diagnostic scan, diagnostic scan, diagnostic scan, and they're completely tapped out on their energy, and then they're dead. They're completely dead. My friend Jack, actually, we were talking about this tonight in a Warzone. I was like, well, I see her using that Colto Pack quite a bit. There must be something magical to it. And I was like, the only magic I see is I'm still alive, she's on the floor dead, and I don't use Colto Pack. You know, if you use Colto Pack, that's cool, but I almost guarantee you, you are constantly using diagnostic scans throughout a Warzone, and I hardly ever have to use it. Energy is usually not that big of a deal for me. When energy becomes a big deal, it's because I'm DPSing. Which, with my accuracy gear, and kind of the thing that sold my dilemma, is I've got all these set bonuses now and tons of accuracy gear. I'm doing twice, if not 3 times the amount of DPS I've, you know, kind of grown to accept of myself in a Warzone. I'm doing something like 300, 400, 500,000 healing in a Warzone next to like 130, 150 damage in a Warzone, and I feel like such a more complete and kind of better player, and more of a credit to the team. You know, like I'm really, really good at killing vanguards, sentinels, and healers. You know, sentinel's gonna jump me immediately and be like, I'm gonna kill that healer. And I turn around and bite back really hard and hit them for like 3k. And most of the time afterwards, they're like, oh no, I don't want any. I notice they'll go after the other healer because I hit really hard still. And because I'm using a little bit of medic gear, very, very little medic gear. It's all the crit surge medic gear. Some enforcer and just the 2 pieces of the field tech stuff. My critical rating is like 500 and something, which is doing like 42% chance. And then I've got the surge rating, it's like 300. And it's like it's 77 crit multiplier. So I'm hitting really hard, I'm healing really well, and basically I'm in a lot less gear than Isabel, and I'm doing just as well, and I'm doing more DPS than she is, and I just feel like I'm a better player with the current setup that I have. So it's really, really weird and kind of eye-opening just playing the way that I've been playing lately, because if I could go back and do things differently, I wish that I would have known what I know now so that Isabel would be a better healer. But that's been the fun thing. Sakari and, you know, my operative, I've gotten smarter, learned more just through experience, and I feel like I'm a better player, which is really nice. You know, the most important thing to me about gaming is having fun, because it's, you know, in essence a game. However, with the competitive nature, you know, with PvP, I like to win. I like to play well. And you're having more fun when you're winning. So, you know, I'm trying to do that. and I love learning, and I love, you know, getting better at my class. So that's kind of where I am now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to main on Empire. You know, no offense to the Republic. I'm not having any fun anytime I get into Republic war zones. People are constantly whining and bickering and complaining, and there is that, you know, that exists on Empire. But I end up being in a lot more war zones with really serious players and people who, instead of raging in the war zone, go, hey, look, we need to do something different. We're doing this, it's not working. Let's adapt to the current situation in the war zone. And it seems like a lot of the Republic war zones I get into, people are just like, whine, complain. General chat is a complete farce most of the time. I only get on to craft, and, you know, I just see the most ridiculous things in Gen Chat, and all these people are just angry that the Empire is so much better at PvP, all the Republics suck, and all that stuff, and I don't want any part of that. So I love the people that I know on Republic, and I want to play with you guys, but I'm not having fun over there. And you know, I don't have a ranked team yet for Empire, but, you know, I'm gonna try to put that together over there. I'm being really cautious. Over the last few days, I've just heard, you know, unfortunately secondhand, so I don't know all the stories, but I've just heard of huge guild breakups, guild drama, guild implosions, and stuff like that. A lot of it on Republic side, and having had that happen to my guild, I'm really nervous about joining some, you know, guild or team where, you know, it's going to implode in a month. And I don't know, that just really depresses me. I don't want to have to go through that. So I'm being really cautious, and I've been sort of cautious too. I've gotten some invites on Republic side, but I only know one or maybe two of the people in that group, and you know, it can be difficult. So I've been a little apprehensive. I generally like to meet and sort of get to know people before I play seriously with them, because I don't know, I get kind of sad when things fall apart, and that sounds really stupid, but, you know, I take it a little too personally sometimes, you know, the drama and stuff like that, because I honestly feel like I make friends when I'm playing with these people, because, you know, we're hanging out like all the time and talking. So you know, I don't want it to become like a job or a hellhole or something like that. You know, my gaming needs to be a safe haven. So I'm being cautious, and ranked is definitely what I want to do, and hopefully when I'm able to do ranked, I will be, you know, with a good solid team of good people and good players. So that's it for this video. I will be making more videos soon. I haven't been pressing the fraps button too much lately, because we warzone all day, all the time, every day, and there have been some really great games where it's been like, did you fraps that? Did you fraps that? I'm like, no, just because my hard drive would be 500 times full if I constantly had fraps going. So I've been a little lazy on that. However, as soon as ranked comes, you know, fraps always on, and I'll have a lot of videos for you guys. I am going to do a gear update video for the third time, just because this accuracy enforcer gear / field tech / medic set stuff is really interesting to me. I'm having a lot of success, and, you know, I would like to kind of go over it and share it and see if, you know, people have input on that. Anyways, this has been a really long video. I kind of apologize for that. It can be kind of long-winded. I'm kind of looking into kind of a podcast type thing for the future for these kind of longer things, because now I'm getting like 2 or 3 war zones into one video just for me to talk about healing in healing in PvP. Anyways, I do really appreciate you guys that do watch, and I hope you all have a really great day. And if you are needing healers for PvP, look me up. We're usually just the two of us right now, and it's kind of nice being able to have the full 4 queued up for regular warzones, unfortunately. So just look me up, and I'll see you guys later.